How do you lose a decades-long lead in just a few short years? Intel bet the house on the wrong architecture. They saw the parallel processing revolution coming and they ignored it. They had the chance to own the future twice and they laughed it off. Now, Nvidia sits on the data center throne. Intel pays the brutal price for its own arrogance, and the numbers are staggering. In 2021, Intel controlled 68% of data center revenue. Today, 6%, Nvidia went from 25% to 86%. This isn't just a business story. This is a tragedy of epic proportions. It started with one catastrophic decision in a boardroom nearly 20 years ago. Picture this. It's 2005. Intel is the chip company. If you wanted compute power, you went through Intel, period. Paul Otellini had just become CEO, and he saw something the board didn't. He walked into that boardroom with a proposal that would change everything. Let's buy Nvidia, $20 billion. They make graphics chips, but I think these things are going to matter for data centers. The board said no, too expensive, too risky. Intel had a bad track record with acquisitions. They'd figure it out themselves. I'd call it a $3.5 trillion mistake. Because that $20 billion company they passed on. Today, it's worth more than everything. Instead of buying Nvidia, Intel bet on themselves. They launched Project Larrabee, a GPU built on Intel's beloved x86 architecture. Except Larrabee wasn't really a GPU. It was complicated. Intel's idea was to take CPU cores and use them as graphics processors. The problems started immediately. Memory controller issues, software that didn't work. Performance that lagged behind Nvidia and AMD. In May 2010, Intel officially killed Larrabee as a consumer GPU, but they didn't give up. They rebranded it as Xeon Phi, Tiana 2. The world's fastest supercomputer in 2013 was powered by Xeon Phi chips. Intel had a win. Except nobody wanted to buy it twice. Researchers complained about buggy software. The performance per watt was abysmal compared to Nvidia. While Intel tried to convince people x86 was the future, Nvidia was building CUDA. They were making developers love them. In 2017, Intel had a second chance. OpenAI, yes, that OpenAI came knocking. They offered Intel a 30% stake. CEO Bob Swan looked at the deal and said no. He didn't think generative AI would make it to market soon enough. Microsoft said yes. In 2019, they invested. The world changed, and Intel watched from the sidelines as the AI revolution passed them by. Intel's market cap fell below $100 billion in 2024. They were kicked out of the Dow Jones and replaced by Nvidia. The king has been dethroned. The jester now wears the crown. In 2025, former CEO Pat Gelsinger said Jensen Huang just got lucky. Jensen bet everything on parallel processing in 2006. That's not luck. That's vision. And Intel's boardroom in 2005 was where vision went to die. Imagine an alternate universe where Intel bought Nvidia, where they didn't waste billions trying to make x86 do everything. In our universe, they're getting investment from Nvidia, the acquirer that never was, now taking a lifeline from the company they could have owned. Clay Christensen called it the innovator's dilemma. The very things that make you successful become the things that destroy you. Intel's x86 dominance was a moat until it became a prison. Remember the $3.5 trillion mistake. The graveyard of technology is filled with companies that were too big to fail. Will Nvidia see them coming, or will they be too busy protecting their crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and don't bet against the future.